Hello, you big beautiful nerds. This is Chash, and today we're going to talk about how busted and absolutely amazing Soul Ring is. Isn't it? Isn't it just so pretty? Go to a Magic Fest, trust me. Wait, what is this? Damn it! It's an Emry deck tech. Ah, fine. All right. Well, let's have a look. Emry, Lurker the Lock. It's 2 colors and 1 blue for a Merfolk Wizard Legendary Creature 1/2. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each artifact you control. When it enters the battlefield, you get to mill the top 4 cards of your library because you can tap and choose target artifact card from your graveyard, and you can cast that spell this turn. You still pay its costs, and timings still matter. Timings matter. That's ridiculous. We don't care about your stinking timings, because we've got Shimmermere. 3 colors for a 2/2 mirror with flash. You can cast artifact spells as though they had flash. We, of course, also have Vidalcan Orrery, so 4 colors. You can play non-land cards anytime you can play an instant. And, of course, Leyline of Anticipation. This has 2 colors and 2 blue for an enchantment. If it's in your opening hand, start with it on the battlefield. You can cast on-land cards as though they had flash. So, Emry allows you to cast them from your discard pile. These 3 cards allow you to basically cast them whenever you want so that you can bust out some sick grooves on your opponents. So one of the other things that we need to look at then is how we're going to maybe play things on the cheap or for free. So we have Chief Engineer. This is 1 color and 1 blue for a Vidalcan Artificer with a 1/3. Artifact spells you cast have Convoke, so your creatures can tap to pay 1 colorless or 1 mana of that creature's color. We also have Helm of Awakening. This affects everyone though. This is 2 colors. All spells cost 1 generic mana less to cast. If you're wondering, that's because that's Mystery Booster. I did that on the weekend. It was kind of fun, but also I have a lot of thoughts that will be up on puremtgo.com about that. Foundry Inspector, 3 colors. Artifact spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Semblance Anvil, Imprint for 3 colors. When it enters the battlefield, you can exile a card from your hand, and on land, of course. Spells you cast that share a card type with the exiled card cost 2 less to cast. We do have some free stuff in here as well that go towards helping out with some combos. We'll get to those later. So we have Lightning Greavesy Wound for free, basically so that our commander can have like Hexproof and Haste, Shroud and Haste. Hexproof and Haste is actually this one, which is Swiftfoot Boots. We've got, of course, Sensei's Divining Top can make for a nasty, very interesting combo piece. We can search out stuff like that with our our Trinket Mage. So this goes and gets an artifact with a converted mana cost of 1 or less. We have Tribute Mage, which goes and gets an artifact with a converted mana cost of exactly 2. Then we have Trophy Mage, which goes and gets an artifact with a converted mana cost of 3. We have Treasure Mage to get 6 or more, which there's only 1 of, which is part of the backup plan for this deck. We have Fabricate. We can search for an artifact, reveal it, put it into your hand. We have War of Invention for 3 colors and X with Improvise, so your artifacts can help pay for this. Search your library for an artifact card with a converted mana cost of X or less and put it onto the battlefield. We also have Kuldrotha Forge Master for 5 mana. This is a 3/5 to tap and sacrifice 3 artifacts. Search your library for an artifact card and put it onto the battlefield and shuffle your library. And we also have a Tezzeret the Seeker. Minus X is what we're using here. Search your library for an artifact card with a converted mana cost of X or less. At this point, we're looking at 4. I wonder why. Put it onto the battlefield and shuffle your library. And of course, we have a Traumatize, funnily enough. And this is because we want a way to dump half of our library into our discard pile for Emry to start giving us the sword from the water, so to speak, I guess you could say. So now that we've got that tied down, we should be looking at maybe some loopable stuff, some combos, some horrible things that we can do. How are we going to win with this deck? Well, the first thing we need to know is how the trappings of this deck works. Sacrifice an artifact, add 2 colors to your mana pool. Crack Clan Ironworks. We also have an Ashnod's Altar, sacrifice a creature to add 2 colors to our mana pool. Interesting, one goes artifacts and one goes creatures. Now, you're probably wondering why that's the case. And I'm gonna show you. So, Ashnod's Altar works perfectly fine with Psy, Master Thopterus. Whenever we cast an artifact spell, we create a 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature with flying. It's pretty cool. Especially if we're playing those spells for free and drawing cards, because we can pay 1 colorless and 1 blue and sacrifice 2 artifacts to draw a card. Or we could just play Riddlesmith. Whenever we cast an artifact spell, we can draw a card, and if we do, discard a card. So here is the theme of filling up our discard pile. With casting all those artifacts, though, we need to find a better way to actually get some better value. So we are running a bunch of mana rocks, and of course, Dramatic Reversal. So this is an instant for 1 blue and 1 colors to untap all non-land permanents you control. Sounds interesting when you put it on an Isochron Scepter for free shenanigans. 2 colors with imprint an instant card with converted mana cost of 2 or less from your hand. And then 2 and tap, you may copy the imprinted card and play the copy without paying its mana cost. So we're going to basically Dramatic Reversal and then casting stuff and then untapping our Isochron Scepter via other means, and then doing it again and again and again and again and again. I think you get the point. One of the other things we need to do is play a Mirren Spy, 2 colors and 1 blue. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, we can untap target creature. Keep playing stuff for free. Intruder Alarm as well. Creatures don't untap during their controller's untap step. Whenever a creature comes into play, untap all creatures. Into play. Alright, so that being said, we need to find some loopy combos. Well, I'm happy to say we have some. Scrap Trawler, 3 colors for a 3/2. Whenever Scrap Trawler or another artifact you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, return to your hand target artifact card in a graveyard with a lesser converted mana cost. Note 3. Note 2. Mere Retriever, when Mere Retriever dies, return another target artifact card from your graveyard to your hand. Loop, 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 loop. Infinite mana. Loop, 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 loop. Playing them for free. So infinite mana. Loop, 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 loop. I love that. It's so janky. We also play a Junk Diver, I guess. 3 colors for a 1/1 flying bird. When the diver dies, return another target artifact from your graveyard to your hand, which can be the Retriever. So Emry is going to be basically tapping, and you're going to be playing stuff out of your discard pile for free out of your graveyard. So we want to be able to draw cards from them just in case. So we've got Chromatic Sphere, we've got Chromatic Star as well, because again, we'll be sacrificing these anyway. And of course, we have our Prophetic Prism. And of course, a Skull Clamp to kill off those nasty Thopters and draw 2 cards every time. We also have things that we can sacrifice, such as our Mox Amber, because then we can tap Emry, put it back into play for 0 cost if we don't have parts of the combo we need, and then we can tap it to add mana to our mana pool, and then we can sack it again, and then we can play it again for free with Emry, and then untapping. It's this whole thing. This whole deck is revolving around, like, I'm playing stuff and I'm untapping Emry and I'm getting it all for free. The same with Lotus Petal, very much the same. Sacrifice Lotus Petal, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Dramatic Reversaling, untapping everything. So we've got Thought Vessel, and we've got our Felwar Stone, and our Sky Diamond, Mind Stone, Darksteel Ingot. We've got Hedron Archive, because we can sack it. We'll cut that, because we can sack it. And of course, we also have our Thran Dynamo. Another cool combo that we have is the Constantly Dying Hangerback Walker. So if we're playing this, and it's going into the battlefield, and then we're using our combo to untap our Emry, then Emry untaps, we cast Hangerback Walker again, Emry untaps, we cast, and we're stuck in an infinite loop. Other things we can do is we can use Mirrodin Besiege to finish up the game to kill off an opponent. We can, of course, use our looping combo on our Aetherflux Reservoir to gain infinite life and then kill everyone at the table. We can lock out the game with our Microsynth Lattice and Khan the Great Creator combo, because everything will turn into artifacts and then they can't be activated for anything. Or we can just draw ourselves out and Labman. That's how this deck works. So it's basically just infinite combos and loops and grossness, and this is very much not your friendly neighborhood EDH deck. I hope that you've enjoyed this. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe. I know that sounds like a, hi, I'm from YouTube and you should like my stuff, but that's how our videos get hit. That's how they get noticed, and that's how people get it on their searches and stuff, so please do that. Keep your eye out on puremtgo.com for a more in-depth article on this deck explaining the loops in better detail, and I will talk to you soon. This is Cheshire, and have a great Christmas. I'll probably talk to you before then.